Because once I realized I had made a poor judgment and I was not in a safe environment, I called Francisco back and I tried to work things out with him. He told me that I could come back home and told me to write out a statement. So that's what I did.
In this dramatic courtroom scene, Judge Boyd confronts a woman accused of stealing nearly $20,000 worth of her boyfriend's belongings while he was in jail. The defendant claims she only wanted help moving out, but admits she saw his things being taken and didn't stop it. The court learns she later called the victim to work things out and confessed to what was taken. Watch as the judge sorts through her excuses, her past trauma, and ultimately sentences her to 4 years deferred adjudication with a stern warning about personal accountability.
Court is calling 2024 CR 2482, State of Texas versus Melanie Barron. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
The scene opens with Judge Boyd calling the case, State of Texas versus Melanie Barron. A calm but tense atmosphere fills the courtroom as the judge outlines the theft charge, nearly $20,000 worth of stolen property. Melanie listens quietly, answering each question with a soft, "Yes, ma'am," as her right and plea are explained. She chooses to plead no contest, meaning she isn't fighting the charge, but she isn't fully admitting guilt either. Would you take that plea if you believed your side of the story wasn't being heard?
Zach Dunn from the state.
Defense.
David Rodriguez for Melanie Barron.
And are you Melanie Barron?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, counsel, have you received all of the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record, excuse me, everyone in the box. Y'all need to whisper. I'm picking up a lot of bass over there and it's coming this way, which means it's coming towards the court reporter. Okay, thank you. We're back on the record. Did you understand you're charged with theft 2,500 to 30,000? That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, off the record. Counsel. Counsel,
Kathy.
we're on the record.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay. Everybody misses the sign. All right. We're back on the record. Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was
Judge Boyd ensures that Melanie fully understands what's at stake, up to 2 years in state jail and a $10,000 fine if she fails probation. The tension builds as the courtroom briefly pauses. Whispers, side conversations, and small mistakes underline the nervous energy in the room. It's a classic Judge Boyd moment. Firm, focused, no tolerance for chaos. She reminds everyone, whisper like spies who don't want to be caught. A bit of humor, but her message is clear. This courtroom is about truth and order.
legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes, Your Honor.
The court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea, the state is proceeding on count one. They're asking that your punishment be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility. There's a $1,500 fine. The state opposes your application for community supervision and deferred adjudication, and there's to be restitution to the complainant. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
State is at the plea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending no contact with the complainant. Did you understand that's a recommendation from the state and the court does not have to follow that recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the offense that's charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence?
Yes, Your Honor. State offers states one and attachments.
No objection.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence State's Exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. After reviewing State's Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. Court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. We're going to come back on September 19th for your sentencing. Ms. Abrams, there's going to be a PSI and tap on Melanie Barron. All right, once you sign the reset form and speak to probation, you're excused. Court is calling 2024 CR 2482, State of Texas versus Melanie.
Melanie's attorney confirms she understands everything and that she's competent and cooperative. The state recommends no contact with the victim and restitution for what was taken. It's clear the judge is preparing for something more than just a routine sentencing. She's setting up a moral test. The hearing ends with a date for sentencing, and the audience can already feel that things will get complicated once Melanie speaks. Do you think a no-contact rule really helps victims heal, or just keeps the peace temporarily?
Barone, can I have parties announced for the record for the state? Defense?
David Rodriguez for the defendant.
All right, and are you Miss Barone?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you entered a plea of no contest to count one. There was an application for deferred adjudication and community supervision. According to the plea bargaining agreement, punishment was to be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility. There's a $1,500 fine. The state opposes your application for community supervision or deferred adjudication, and there's to be restitution and no contact with Francisco Vasquez. Have both parties had a chance to review the PSI report and TAP evaluation and also the DDRF mixed screening results? State?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections to those items? State? Defense?
No objection.
Any witnesses? State?
No, Your
Defense? Any witnesses?
Just the defendant.
All right, if you can raise your right hand for me, please. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Melanie Danielle Barron.
All right, make sure you keep your voice up. And everybody in the audience, whisper like you're spies and don't want to be caught. All right, defense. You may proceed.
Ms. Brown, where are you living right now?
At the Balcony Heights.
When Melanie takes a stand, her voice trembles. She explains she's been working, staying clean, and trying to rebuild her life. Her defense highlights that she has no prior record and plans to pay restitution. But the air shifts when the state starts questioning her, not about her job, but about her choices. They ask the one question that matters most. Why would you take his items? It's a question she struggles to answer, and it becomes the emotional turning point of the hearing.
His apartments.
Okay, and are you living by yourself or do you have a roommate?
No, I live with someone else. I live with my boyfriend.
Okay, you're whispering. You need to speak up.
No, I live with my boyfriend.
All right, so let's do this. Don't turn towards the defense. If you'll just speak towards me and keep your voice up here so that the court reporter can hear.
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Brown, can you tell me how you're employed right now?
I work with Block by Block. That's Central, downtown San Antonio.
In what kind of work is that?
I work all along the river, the cleaning of the river. We give information and assist those in need
And how long have you been doing that?
since August 14th.
And are you employed doing that full time?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is it your plan to continue working at Block by Block?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Ms. Brown, before this case, have you ever been arrested before?
No,
Do you have any prior convictions?
no.
Ms. Brown, if you are placed on deferred adjudication, will you be able to successfully complete that deferred adjudication?
Yes,
Okay. Do you understand that there's an amount of restitution in the amount of approximately $20,000?
yes,
And is that an amount that you will be able to pay back through your probation?
yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to pass the witness for now.
State?
No questions for this witness at this time, Your Honor.
I have a few questions. So what I've read in the PSI report is this was your boyfriend. He called the police and the police ends up arresting him. And then when he comes back, all of his items are gone. Let's discuss. That's what I want discussed. Why would you take his items? Because that's what we're here for. We're here for the taking of items. I don't know if these items are worth $21,000 because nothing has been given to me. But I'm wondering, why would you do that?
Well, I made a poor judgment in calling friends to assist me in moving
Wait a
out.
minute, what?
I made a poor judgment calling a few what I thought was friends to assist me moving out, and they took the items that did not belong to me.
What do you mean they took the items that didn't belong to you?
While I was moving my stuff out, they were taking things and I didn't stop them.
There was a co-defendant on this case, Your Honor.
And what is the co-defendant doing?
That case was
Melanie claims she made a poor judgment, that she called her friends to help move out and they took her boyfriend's belongings without her stopping them. Judge Boyd interrupts, "Wait a minute, what?" The tone changes instantly. This isn't just about stolen property, it's about accountability. Melanie admits she saw them take items and didn't stop it. Her lawyer insists she cooperated with police and even gave a full statement, but the damage is done. If you saw someone committing a crime in your name, would staying silent make you guilty too?
dismissed because my client, Ms. Barone, cooperated with the police and the DA's office. You can see that she voluntarily went and talked to an investigator. There's about a 7 or 8 page statement that she's made, and I have to point out that she's been cooperative with the police all along and helping them in their investigation.
All right, so I still don't understand why you would have people take items that didn't belong to you. What was the conversation? You decide you're leaving him while he's at the Bexar County Jail. I'm assuming, hypothetically, if you had a bed, okay, I need somebody to help me move my bed out. So they moved the bed out. Were you telling them what items were yours?
I did tell them what items were mine. I'm coming out of a very stressful situation with this man. He's been very violent. He has abused me. He's assaulted me. He's manipulated me. I was panicked as to what he would do when he returned. So I wasn't paying attention to detail to what these gentlemen were doing. So as they were moving stuff out, I was just focusing on getting my stuff out. Once we were there, I did see that they had his things. I didn't want to go back. I didn't tell them to take it back. I just didn't know what to do at this point.
So how did you get involved with the police?
How did I get involved with
Yes.
the police?
Did the police, because I see where a neighbor said, oh yeah, she's the one. So I'm assuming the complainant picked up the phone and called and said, she took my items. So where does this come in with you giving the police a statement?
Because once I realized I had made a poor judgment and I was not in a safe environment, I called Francisco back and I tried to work things out with him. He told me that I could come back home and told me to write out a statement. So that's what I did.
So, and let me see if I'm following it along. So your story is there were some issues with Francisco. He calls the police to his home. When he calls the police to his home, he's the person who gets arrested. And then when he's arrested, you call 3 friends or however many friends to come over, move items from the house. And it appears, and if I'm wrong, correct me, it appears that all of his items were taken. You leave with these people, and then the complainant is released from the Bexar County Jail. He goes back to his house. His neighbor.
The judge presses further. Why didn't you tell them to stop? Why didn't you bring the items back? Melanie reveals more. She says she'd been abused, manipulated, and terrified by her boyfriend. She describes a cycle of fear and panic, saying she wasn't thinking clearly and just wanted to escape. It's a heartbreaking moment. trauma meets responsibility. Her words raise a haunting question. Can being a victim justify what she allowed to happen? Do you believe fear can make people cross moral lines they never thought they would?
Neighbor tells him all this stuff is missing. You're with these other people, and you say, this is a bad situation I'm in with these other 3 people. So you pick up the phone and you call Francisco back and tell him that you want to work things out. And then you go back to his house, and then you write a statement saying what you took. All right. Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any other questions?
No, Your Honor. I would like to point out that PSI does have a bit of her past history, and I'm not saying that this is an excuse for her actions on this particular case, but I do have to point out that she has been victim of sexual and domestic violence throughout her lifetime at the hands of various men, including the complaining witness.
All right. When's the last time you had contact with the complainant?
It's been about 8 months since I was arrested.
Okay. State? Your post? Why you're opposed?
Good question, Your Honor. I don't think that worked out the plea agreement, so I don't know the thought process of the prosecutor did.
All right. You want to discuss with them and see if they're still opposed? All right. If you'll step back, they'll speak, then we'll come back. All right. We are back on the record in 2024, CR 2482, State versus Melanie Barone. So where we left off, State, you were opposed. Is that correct?
Yes, we were at this time stage.
If you're drug tested today, what would the results be?
Negative.
All right. State, you may be excused.
Defense and states came to an agreement on the amount of restitution. It is $20,000.
All right. Thank you.
Her attorney steps in, sharing Melanie's long history of domestic and sexual abuse. He admits it doesn't excuse her actions, but asks the court to understand the pain behind them. Meanwhile, the state debates whether to oppose her deferred sentence. The courtroom goes quiet as both sides deliberate. This is where justice feels human, a mix of emotion, reasoning, and judgment.
All right. This is what the court will do. The court will sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's to be mixed supervision, and that's based upon the evaluation the court is in receipt of. There's to be no contact and restitution of $20,000 to Francisco Vasquez. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. Proof of employment within 30 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's going to be 100 hours of community service restitution. Do you have any children?
No.
All right. I'm going to order your trauma classes probation. Once she completes those, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. And then at probation's discretion. There's to be a $1,500 fine, and that will be probated. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court?
No, Your Honor.
Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because this is a plea bargaining agreement, because I followed your plea bargaining agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal.
Judge Boyd delivers her decision. 4 years deferred adjudication, $20,000 restitution, and strict probation rules. No contact, no home health work, regular reporting, drug testing, and trauma counseling. Her message is powerful. Accountability starts now. Even when you've been a victim, you still have choices. It's not just a sentence, it's a life lesson. The courtroom absorbs every word as Melanie quietly thanks the judge. Do you think justice was served? Or was this a soft verdict for a serious crime? Final overview and call to action. In the end, Melanie walks out not as a free woman, but as someone under close watch. Her story blends tragedy, regret, and survival. Judge Boyd's decision strikes a balance between punishment and compassion, showing that justice can be firm yet understanding. This case reminds us, even when life breaks you, the law still expects you to stand up and make better choices. What's your take? Was Melanie's trauma enough to explain her actions, or did Judge Boyd go too easy? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more real courtroom stories where justice and humanity collide.